One thing about the Chiefs, I'll say, and maybe it applies in this game. Sometimes they surprise you. Every once in a while, you're like, they'll never do that. And then they're like, guess what? And it's just 350 yards on the ground. And you're like, oh, my God, what the hell happened?
It's that football show here on KC Sports Network. Tucker Franklin hanging out with Matt Verderame for your Friday edition of that football show, heading into a pretty big matchup this week of 1 and 2 AFC teams. One of these teams will be 1 and 3, and I think, Matt, at that point, the season will be over.
I saw, I saw Dan Orlovsky just flat out say that if the Chiefs lose this game, that they're not in the playoff conversation.
Awesome.
Which, listen, I like Dan. I don't mean to bag on him. Has he looked at the AFC?
Clearly
it's basically not. Like everyone's in a coma. And can you emerge from the coma by like Christmas? If you can, you're probably in the playoffs. So that was a jarring statement. And then I've seen other people just talk about this game as though the Ravens are just this unstoppable juggernaut of a team.
Yeah.
Has anyone watched the Baltimore Ravens the first 3 weeks of the year? Like, they are horrific defensively, and also might be starting me this week on the defensive line. We're going to get into all that, but like, just a wild, like, I've seen people talk about this game as though the Ravens are just like, I don't know what they could possibly do. It's like, well, the Browns were in the game for 3 quarters in Baltimore, and I heavily outgained them.
Right.
I think there's a chance. Just saying.
I do think that the conversation has been really funny because naturally I look around on like the Twitter timeline and it feels a lot differently than how I feel. But I first got a shout out to our friends Ben Holiday Bottled and Bomb Bourbon. I got the little mini bottle right here. This is a breaking case of emergency, I guess, if I run out of the big bottle. But yeah, Matt, I mean, let's talk about the vibes kind of heading into this game, because I feel like that these teams, while the records are similar and they're kind of in similar situations, the vibes around these two teams could not be more different, with the injuries going on in Baltimore, where they have Metabike was ruled out on like Wednesday, but he was ruled out very early. They still have starters not practicing. Like, they're in two completely different places, as the Chiefs have Xavier Worthy fully practicing 2 days in a row. They've got Jaylen Royals is fully practicing. They've got the guys that left the game fully practicing. Right. So they are getting healthy. And the Ravens seem to be trending in the other direction. I just don't see, in our friends at DraftKings Sportsbook, still have the Chiefs at a 2.5-point home dog in this game. I don't see that, Matt.
I think it's kind of reflective of people that have been talking about this game like the Ravens should just roll up and down the field. I mean, Ryan Fitzpatrick was talking about this game like the Chiefs don't belong in the league. And, look, I'm just going to kind of say it. Like, why does everyone respect the Ravens to the level that they do?
It's a great point.
They've never won shit.
Yeah.
Like, they've gone to the same amount of AFC title games over the last decade as Ryan Tannehill. I don't care. Like, Jimmy Garoppolo has been to more conference title games in the last 8 years than Lamar Jackson. The idea that this team is just some juggernaut. Like, look, Derrick Henry's great. Lamar Jackson is terrific. Zay Flowers is really good. The offensive line just finished giving up 7 sacks to the Lions, who, other than Aiden Hutchinson, not exactly the fearsome foursome up front. They got run over all night. Now, you could sit there and certainly argue, well, the Chiefs aren't going to run them over, which is, I'm sure, true. But it's a game where, like, Van Noy's probably out. Matabike is out. There's a very good chance that Broderick Washington is out. Travis Jones is probably going to play. He's limited today, but, like, probably not 100%. You've got Ronnie Stanley, who might be out for this game.
Right.
Like, and the Chiefs are getting Xavier Worthy back.
Yeah.
I know that the NFL doesn't work like this, and I know it's kind of a clumsy analogy, but like if I said to somebody, Eagles and Ravens, who's the better team right now? They tell me. Yeah. Like, what is the argument that it's not Philadelphia? Well, the Chiefs should have beat Philly 2 weeks ago, right? Like, and I would argue Philadelphia is more scary offensively in terms of their personnel.
Oh, yeah.
They're more talented. Now, they haven't played better offensively. The Ravens are 31st in the league, points allowed, 32nd in the league, yards allowed. They're dead last in the league in passing against them. They're 31st in rushing against them. Like, I'm just going to go out on a limb and say they're not good defensively. They have 3 sacks. The only teams that have fewer sacks than them are the Titans and the Panthers. Okay, like,
oh my God.
And by the way, of those 3 sacks, Matabike has 2 of them. So, of guys who will be active in his game, they have 1 sack as a team.
Yeah.
Okay. Drew Tranquil has twice as many sacks as the active players for the Ravens on Sunday. And it's like, I get it. The Chiefs offense has been a crap show. But at the same point, I think people just judge teams off of what the offense looks like and not like the entire team. Because if you said to me, what's the best unit in this game? Take special teams out of it, just offenses and defenses.
Yeah.
It's probably Baltimore's offense.
Yeah.
And then it's probably a fairly close second after the last 2 games, Kansas City's defense.
Yeah.
What is not in dispute is the worst fucking unit by a mile is Baltimore's defense. Like, as bad as the Chiefs offense has been, they're 7th in EPA.
Isn't that nuts?
And like all the even normal metrics, they're like right in the middle of the pack. Like they're an average NFL offense, which goes to show you how bad some of these teams are. Baltimore is worse than Miami defensively. They're worse than New Orleans. They're worse than Carolina. Like, and very busy when they played the Bills and the Lions. They also played the Browns. Okay? Yeah. And they're still the worst team. So, it's like, all right, I mean, good luck to you. With Worthy coming back, I am surprised the amount of people who treat this game like the Chiefs are some massive underdog in this. I do not see that.
I know that this game will probably be close, right? Just because it's the games that the Chiefs play. It's the NFL any given Sunday like that. But, like, it feels like it shouldn't be, if that makes sense. Especially with Xavier Worthy coming back, I'm curious what your thoughts are on his condition in air quotes, right? He doesn't seem to be having that huge bulky brace on his shoulder. Now, it is a fully torn labrum because you can't hurt it anymore, so it's going to be however much pain you can deal with, basically, type of deal. How effective do you think he'll be? Because we got to see, well, I take that back. We didn't see Jaylen Royals. He wore a uniform, at least for the first time, as a Kansas City Chief against the New York Giants. How effective do you think Xavier Worthy will be with how this offense is going to be going up against this team?
I mean, that's kind of like the ultimate question here. Yeah. Like, I don't really know. I don't know. Anybody knows, but it's interesting. I looked this up last night, and I have no idea. I don't know historically if this would be accurate or not. So just take it as a thought, not a fact. But assuming Worthy plays, Worthy, Brown, Thornton, I'm sure will be on the field together a decent amount.
Yeah.
Those guys all ran 4.2 40 times. Has there ever been a team that's had 4 or 3 guys that all are in the 4.2 40 range? Like, Royals ran a 4.4 flat, and he's basically running like me out there compared to those guys. Right? Like, that is, I was thinking about that. I'm like, if nothing else, just a speed component.
Oh, yeah.
But, this game, and like, I know I'm talking just into the ether with this because I know Andy's never going to do this. If there is ever a game to just line up under center and be like, look, we're playing Baltimore's JV defensive line.
Right.
We're just going to run duo and just run them over 35 times. Like, I know they don't have Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. Everybody's aware of this. Yeah. But those holes Detroit was blowing open were so, like, anyone who watched the Monday night game, I mean,
Pacheco could run through those.
Was 15 yards downfield before he got touched. Like, they were just blowing holes open. If I'm the Chiefs, say whatever you want about the line. Like, I know Smith and Humphrey can play power. Suamatia, that's what his game is suited toward. Mm-hmm. And Simmons is a beast of a man. Like, I am just calling duo and being like, here it comes. Double. Good luck to you. Like, I would just run the ball, put Tunyon in there as a blocking tight end, and here it comes. What are you going to do about it? Like, I mean, at some point, I understand their backs are not good. I get it. You're going to tell me that if they get under center, they can't run against this team? Like, I just think at some point, you've got to try in this game to just say, look, you can't defend it. And until you prove you can defend it, we're just going to do it. And I also think if you did it, they'd be so caught off guard game plan wise, right? Like, it'd be like a scene out of like Friday Night Lights. Like, who the hell's that guy? What are you doing? Yeah, it'd be like just total chaos. It's like slamming Sammy Mead, just screaming into a microphone. Like, no one would know what to do. They're running the football. It would be complete chaos. I don't know. I just think it's a game. I'm not saying take the ball out of Mahomes' hands, but like make his life easier. Get in 2nd and 5, and then here's a billion guys who run a 4.2 40 against 37-year-old Marlon Humphrey and whatever the hell's left to Jair Alexander. Like, good luck, cover him, have fun, bye. We're going to put your rookie safety in conflict the entire game. See ya.
Yeah.
I mean, I would just, I don't know. I think you got to at least try it.
100%. And I do think that I think that the Chiefs offensively can kind of carry some things over from what they had in the second half, right? Like, that's going to be the big thing, is it looked like they kind of figured some things out. Now, is the Giants' defense and secondary
better than Baltimore's?
It is. I mean, it's a great point, and they have a worse front. The Ravens have a worse front than what the Giants had. So I'm going to be curious to see how much they do use that. I know Rashee Rice was like back with the team this week too. They kind of talked about that, how that was kind of reinvigorating for them as well. And one of the things that I think about for the offense, you talked about running the football, and who knows if they will, but I wonder if there's going to be any different distribution of carries. And I'm not necessarily talking about Brashard Smith, but Elijah Mitchell, is that guy going to be active? Is he ever going to be active?
No.
Is it? Should I not try to think of like, hey, maybe they'll try to use this guy that they signed on the very first day of free agency, 10 minutes after it opened, or is that just wishful thinking, Matt?
I think the Chiefs have shown what they're thinking.
Yeah.
I think they don't. Look, I can't express how strongly I think they should put Jaylen Moore in at right tackle. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Like Andy had a quote, and I think it was Wednesday. He was like, Juwan takes a lot of pride in what he does. I immediately had about 300 jokes come to mind just instantly. Like, what is that exactly? Like, is he really feel good about himself and he lines up like behind the goalpost, or just like 8 yards into the offensive backfield? Like, but you watch the games, and like I was watching the film of the Giants game, and I gotta tell you, like all kidding aside, I actually really was impressed by Somathia. I went into that game being like, oh God, like Dexter Lawrence is going to baptize him. And he actually did a really good job in that game. It was like, wow, if you can do that against Dexter Lawrence, man, like that should be a confidence builder.
Yeah.
Because the Giants basically spent the first half of that game being like, we're going to get him one-on-one against your left guard and just kill him the entire game. And he didn't. There was also a play where Josh Simmons blocked Brian Burns like 12 yards up the field, which was more impressive thing to see a rookie left tackle do. But no, like Elijah Mitchell, I don't know. Try it. Like, what is the work? Also, if he's that washed up, why is he even on the team?
Yeah. Right. That's what I'm saying.
My biggest fear is that Clyde Edwards-Helaire at some point.
I knew you were going there.
You know it's coming. Like, we want to see what Clyde's got. And then they're going to run like toss crack,
right?
And he's just going to get drilled for a 7-yard loss. Like
there's going to be two things that happen: toss and then Clyde getting cracked. Yes.
Kelce's going to like kind of wander out there and like think about blocking and then pass on the idea. And as the linebacker comes down and just crushes him.
Yeah.
And then Kelce's going to scream on the sideline at the equipment guy. But that's where we're headed. I think we're about 3 weeks away from Travis Kelce just like yelling at a fan or something during the game. But I look forward to when we get Clyde against like Detroit. And we're watching Jahmyr Gibbs just like juke everybody and their mother. And then we're watching Clyde just like fall forward for a yard and a half. But, one thing about the Chiefs, I'll say, and maybe it applies in this game. Sometimes they surprise you. Every once in a while, you're like, they'll never do that. And then they're like, guess what? And it's just 350 yards on the ground. And you're like, oh, my God, what the hell happened?
It's the Buffalo game when they went to Buffalo, Clyde's rookie year, and you're just like, oh, well, they actually ran the ball like 30 times. They actually
the Buffalo game. It's the Tampa Bay game a couple years ago where they just both games, by the way, in prime time.
Yeah,
where Andy was like, I also can do this, and it's just like, oh my god, what's happening? You know, every once in a while they'll do something like that I swear to God I think is effective because no one thinks they're going to do it.
Yeah,
you know. It's kind of like if Baltimore came out in this game and was like, we're just going to throw 45 times. We don't care. Yeah. Like, although in all seriousness, it actually is kind of like the Chargers did in week 1. The Chiefs were so geared up for them to run the ball. And to Harbaugh's credit, he was like, we're going to throw it. We're going to play action to death. And they killed them on it. Because the Chiefs, look, understandably, we're like, we're going to take away your running game.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, they were like, yeah, we know you're going to do that. So we're going to do this. Like, sometimes there's an effectiveness in just, hey, we don't care that the Chiefs have 2 tight ends. We're in nickel. And all of a sudden the Chiefs are like, great. Well, here comes 3 double teams up front. Boom. Like, sometimes in life, that stuff's enough.
Did you see the chart that was going around? Andrew Reinhardt does a really good job of data visualization. He takes like stats from NFL Pro and will like put them into like color coded things so like you can see
people are morons
for me basically.
Okay.
Yeah, for me
here's the pie chart because you can't read.
Yes, basically. And it was a chart of like what the defenses are in. This is according to NFL Pro though, so he's taking all the data from NFL Pro. What the defenses are in when offenses go like 11 personnel, 12 personnel, 13 personnel, 21 personnel type of deal. And when the Chiefs are in 12 personnel, I think that defenses are in dime, like I want to say a high 30% amount of the time, which is like higher than any other like the highest in the league in 12 personnel. And it's just like, how are they not running the football when the other defense is like, okay, we know you're not going to run the football. So we're going to come out in dime and we know you're not going to actually run the football.
I remember it was like a week ago, like Ted Wynn, I believe that's how you pronounce it.
At The Athletic, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes. That's a great job. Great job. Tweeted out that the Chiefs feel like box more than anybody in football. It's 70.6% of the time. Yeah. And the Chiefs are like, guess what? Throwing into it. Like just and not throwing into it to like Rashid Rice and Xavier Worthy. No. Throwing into it to Juju. Like just like that's fine. We don't give a shit. We're gonna do it. Here comes a swing pass to Robert Tonyan. Like
if only you were that lucky, Matt. If only we were that lucky for it to go to Robert Tonyan.
It's like, oh my God. Do anything other than like fading throw a fade route to Brown. Like, you're just like, I am visibly ill. Like, what are we doing? Who's looking at this from up top and being like, we got the look we want. They're dropping 8 and Juju's getting bracketed by a corner and a safety. We're going to rifle shot that down the seam. One thing I found interesting, I was looking at some numbers. I was writing actually about the Chiefs Ravens game as part of my Friday column, and so I checked that out. Shameless plug, SI.com. Verderame verdicts.
Hell yeah,
that's right. I was really rolling too until last week when it was a catastrophe. But that's neither here nor there. We're coming back strong this week.
Yeah.
I hope. I was looking at the Chiefs stats. If I asked you to just give me the top 3 guys in order of players who have gotten targets in the Chiefs passing games this year.
Okay.
Could you confidently and correctly give me who's number 1 in targets, number 2, and number 3?
Number 1 in targets, I will say Juju Smith-Schuster.
He's not even in the top 3.
Really? Okay, that's kind of crazy. Is Kelce still in the top 3?
He's 3rd.
Okay. Thornton has to be up there. It feels like Thornton gets thrown the ball to him.
Thornton has 1 more target than Kelce, and every target's 50 yards downfield. Like
Kelce average up the targets like 25 or something like that, right?
Kelce, 24 points. Kelce's 2 feet away, and Mahomes is like the better, higher percentage option right now is to just throw a rocket launcher halfway down the field to Tyquan Thornton. Like, yeah.
Is it Hollywood that first game?
Yeah, it was like 9 more than anybody else.
And it's crazy because he hasn't gotten it doesn't feel like he's gotten a ton of targets since that first game, but he just got a ton that first game.
Yeah.
Jesus.
He's got 25 for the year. First game's doing some heavy lifting. Okay. They went to Hollywood when they literally didn't have a game plan anymore. And then they got a game plan. They're like, all right, we're good.
We don't need you, Hollywood. Thank you, man.
Sir, please. Yeah, I thought it was really instructive that Kelce's been the leader for this team in targets every year of the last decade, except for 2021.
Yeah.
And this year, not only is it like Hollywood, it's like, okay, Tyquan Thornton, look, playing great. Like, understandably.
Shut up.
He is like what MVS was supposed to be. He's a deep ball specialist.
Yeah.
And Mahomes is throwing to him more than Travis Kelce, which I think brings up, look, we've talked about this like kind of tongue-in-cheek, but like this brings up a very uncomfortable reality with this team. But when Rice and Worthy are like fully back, Kelce's like the fifth option on the team. Yeah,
he has to be.
And I don't know how that's going to jive with a guy who I think part of the reason he is so bent out of shape all the time and then doesn't talk to the media is like I think, I'm not him, but I think he's kind of realizing I can't do what I once did, and that's extremely frustrating. I'm like, I get it.
Yeah.
That's about to be compounded by the fact that like you're now going to be treated like you're Byron Pringle because they're going to throw to Rice more, and they're going to throw to Worthy more. And I'm pretty sure if Thornton keeps playing the way he's playing, they're throwing to Thornton more. Like maybe Kelce usurps Hollywood Brown, who was not getting 16 targets a game anymore. Like I don't know, but it really is like you start looking at this and you're like, man, Trav's about to be like a hood ornament in this offense because I don't know that he's ever seen the football outside of like a third down, a red zone play. And it begs the question, like, are they just better off saying, look, like fully healthy, we're going with those four guys out wide and a back.
Yeah.
Like we're just like running, shooting this thing.
I think he's still good as a decoy, especially like in this game against like when they have Kyle Hamilton. If they want to burn Kyle Hamilton on Travis Kelce right now,
God, Kyle Hamilton retire if that happens. Like did Kyle Hamilton just walk up to the post game podium? Like, I'm done.
Yeah, he would have to. Yeah, I think that maybe the decoy is about the only thing that I can think that not the only thing he'll be good for. I shouldn't say that, but what he can be best for.
Yeah.
But
I wonder. There's just a part of me that really does wonder at some point here. Does Zandy sit down with Travis Kelce and be, look, we don't want to be disrespectful.
Yeah.
But you're going to like kind of play in like packages now.
Mm.
And that's what this is going to be.
Yeah.
Because I got to tell you, look, and I'm saying this gently. I watched that Giants tape.
Right.
They do not need him on rundowns.
Nope.
He doesn't even attempt to block guys.
Nope.
It's gotten to a point, seriously, he will just stand up and watch the play like a third of the time. Like, I'm good. Like, the first offensive play of the game, they bootlegged Mahomes on left, and Kelce was standing next to Simmons. Like, or not standing, but like, down at 3-point stance next to Simmons. The play started, the ball got snapped, and Kelce just literally stood up and stood there as Burns just went right past him. And he kind of like half-heartedly leaked out into the flat. Like, bro, it's the first play of the game.
Yeah.
This isn't like play 40 and like maybe you ran a long route. It's the first play of a must-win game on national television, and you were just like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Man.
It's tough. It really is because like it's hard to watch the game pass him up, right? And that's clearly what's happening right now. And we don't want to say anything bad about Travis Kelce because of what he meant for the franchise and the organization, everything like that. But you have to be realistic about what's happening right now. So it's like a rock and a hard place type of deal. But we do need to take that first time out. And we still got to talk about the Chiefs' defense against this Ravens rushing attack as well. Derrick Henry said that he's losing his faith. I don't know if you saw that quote from him. Like his fumbles have made him question his faith. Yeah, I know, dude. It's
down bad.
He's down really bad. I feel bad for Derrick Henry, but you could be Chiefs fans on the field at the 50 inside GEHA Field for the official coin toss at a Chiefs home game. This you could possibly pay tight end. You can visit Chiefs.com/GEHA now. Enter to win a chance to be on the field for a once-in-a-lifetime view of the pregame coin toss. You could actually look like Mark Ingram when the Mark Ingram and Derrick Henry meme, you could look like Mark Ingram out there next to Derrick Henry.
And you would.
He would. That is a ginormous human being. Plus, you can also score other exclusive prizes. Enter for a chance to win at Chiefs.com/GEHA. GEHA is a proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's take our time out, and we'll be back to talk Chiefs defense after this. Chiefs.
Just a short drive from Kansas City. Experience the history, the heritage, and the bourbon at Holiday Distillery. Tour Missouri's oldest distillery, where real Missouri bourbon is made the old-fashioned way. Walk the grounds, taste the tradition, and take home a bottle of something special. Make the trip, sip the story. Holiday Distillery, Weston, Missouri. Book your tour at holidaydistillery.com.
My name is Terrell Jolly. A lot of people call me TJ, founder and CEO of Integrity Capital Management. So Integrity Capital Management originally started out as a property management firm, but we slowly transitioned to what is described as an incremental development firm that's focused on situational housing. I know most people say affordable, but we believe in creating housing for people that are actually in need and built to the end user. I believe everyone needs a home because when you have home, you have hope. The reality is that when you're building a business, one thing you don't think about is like what a true banking relationship means. And, I had the honor and privilege of meeting Debbie early on in my career when I was just trying to get going. And as a small business, it's really challenging at times because people don't understand the concept or not believe the longevity because you're just getting started. But Debbie was willing to take a chance on me, be patient with me. I almost look at it like a grassroots initiative. She's seen and believe what I'm about. Anybody that's really true about their business and want to get some things done, I would definitely trust hands down Emprise because Deb's team, along with Aaron and Jackie and all the amazing people that work behind the scenes, even from the treasury side, I would say, hey, give them an opportunity because you won't be disappointed and you will actually be in hands that actually somebody care and that will see you from start to finish.
Matt, I believe Derrick Henry has played against the Chiefs, I want to say 5 times in the regular season. He's averaging just under 100 yards a game. But a game that he played against the Chiefs in 2019 where they...
he killed them.
Yeah, he had 188 yards.
I remember that game.
Outside of that, the first game he played against him in 2016, he only had 58 yards on 9 carries. He had 23 carries in that game. Holy shit. And then against him in 2021, 86 yards on 29 carries. Holy moly. And 17 carries on 115 yards as well there. And 46, this is most recently with Baltimore, and he only had 46 yards on 13 carries. It looks like that. Yeah, that's the last time that they played him. In the playoffs, when they played him, he had 156 yards in 2018 on 23 carries. And the last time, the AFC Championship game that they played in the playoffs with the Titans, 19 carries, 96 yards. Steve Spagnuolo traditionally has done a pretty good job of bottling up Derrick Henry in these one-off games, and really, the Chiefs have done a really good job bottling up the rush so far this season, and that will be important facing this Baltimore squad.
We're going to get into all that, but you brought up the game that he ran for 115 yards and 2 touchdowns on 17 carries.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
That remains the most hilarious box score in NFL history. That was a game that both teams were 5-2 coming into it. It was November in 2022. So obviously, Chiefs won the Super Bowl. Malik Willis started in that game for the Titans.
Mm-hmm.
The Titans had 9 first downs. Malik Willis was 5 of 16 for 80 yards. Okay, the Titans committed 8 penalties and went 1 of 11 on 3rd down and 0 of 1 on 4th down. The Chiefs had 10 penalties. Were 8 of 19 on 3rd down. Apparently just couldn't, 19. But here's the best part. Chiefs outgained them 499 to 229. And that game went to overtime.
Right. Yeah, it did. The
best part of this is Willis throws for 80 yards. Henry rushes for $115. Most of that was on one guy at 56-yard run.
Yeah.
Mahomes' stat line in this game.
Holy shit.
Dude, it is It is 43 of 68 for 446, a touchdown, a pick. He was sacked 4 times. He ran 6 times for 63 yards and another touchdown and converted a 2-point conversion. It's one of the dude. It's the epitome of this team just being like, I don't know, you do it. We can't. I don't know. We can't beat Malik Willis, so we're gonna need you to account for over 500 yards of offense by yourself. And they won the game 2017. That was a Sunday night game for people who don't remember that. Yes, that was also a game that Harrison Butker missed an extra point because that was the year Harrison Butker missed about 30 of them. Anyway.
Ooh.
So, yeah, as far as like this year.
box score in that one, too, by the way. There's a vintage Skymore box score in that one.
Oh, good. And on a day that Mahomes threw for 446 yards, Sky Moore was like, nah, I'm good.
One target, no catches.
68 attempts. Oh, my God. How do you not catch one? Are you catch a deflection or something? Oh, my God.
We're keeping the streak alive, man. I don't think we have missed a podcast where we haven't mentioned Sky Moore since he was traded, which is
brutal,
crazy.
All right, so this year,
yes,
Chiefs are. Let's see here. Chiefs through 3 weeks they are tied for 12th best in against the run yards per attempt at 4 even. So that's solid. That's pretty good. They've given up a grand total of 342 rushing yards, which is tied for 18th, which is average. But I think the yards per attempt means more. Also, too, they faced Saquon and shut him down, which is a pretty good job. So that there's that. Let's see here. They've been against the pass. Let's give an idea. They're 11th in 10th, actually tied with Baltimore. Yards per completion against. But the only stat, Baltimore's not dead last in defensively. Yards per attempt, the Chiefs are crisp 15th. Completion rate against the Chiefs are 18th. So they're pretty average. But I will say this: a lot of this is weighed down by the first week.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
they've been outrageous against the pass the last 2 weeks. Now, part of that is Russell Wilson is not a real human being. But listen, you're going to have to stop the run against Baltimore. Everybody knows this. This is not a secret. Look, realistically, Lamar is the guy that actually worries me more in this game running the ball.
Right.
Because that's a lot of times you covered everything and then the play breaks down and he runs for 15, 20 yards. That is the guy that the Chiefs in the AFC title game a couple of years ago, they had 2 spies on him at times. If you look at his career, so take the first game out. I'm just going to talk about the games respect Noel's coach against him. 2019, he ran 8 times for 46 yards and a touchdown. 2020, he ran 9 times for 83 yards. That was the one time that that was the Chiefs beat them in that game too. 9 carries, 83 yards. Then the next year, 2021, this was the one time that the Ravens beat him. He went for 16 carries, 107 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And then in the opener last year, he had 16 carries for 122 yards. Like, they are going to have to figure out a way here to just limit him. Like, if you asked Steve Spagnuolo, if you gave him truth serum and said, hey, Steve, 50 yards from Lamar on the ground, how do you feel? I guarantee he'd be like, great.
Yeah.
Great. Sign me up, man. I think if you're the Chiefs and you can hold him to around 50 yards rushing, that's a win. It's honestly a win because them throwing the ball, Lamar's a much better passer than he used to be.
100%.
Absolutely. At the same point, like, they are not a great receiving team. That is not the way they live. Like, Zay Flowers has 231 yards. He's been excellent this year. Rashad Bateman has 9 receptions in 3 games.
Ugh.
Okay, Juju's been better than Rashad Bateman. Yeah. Mark Andrews has 8 catches. DeAndre Hopkins has 5.
He can catch.
Tylan Wallace has 2. Like, this is not a team that is just going to throw it all over you. It's not going to happen. So if you're the Chiefs, especially with the way the secondary is playing, you're going, look, we'll put McDuffie on Flowers, we'll Watson on Flowers. Like we feel like we can hold him down somewhat.
Yeah.
And if we can do that, we'll take our chances with Rashad Bateman and DeAndre Hopkins and Tylan Wallace. Go for it. And if Mark Andrews has 40 yards receiving, who cares? Like, we will take our chances. And I think if you have Spags, that's got to be the whole game. If you have to stop the run in this game. And for the love of God, don't try to do it with Derrick Nottie and Jerry Tillery, because that will not end well. Do it with Omar Norman-Lott, who is actually like wrecking shop against the Giants. Do that.
You know what's really interesting about you talked about Omar Norman-Lott. The advanced stats for the Chiefs don't really match the eye test. We kind of talked about that with the offense, and we also there's stats on the defense too with like pressure rate and stuff like that doesn't really feel like that's what we're seeing. But the advanced stats, like Omar Norman-Lott had a lot more pressures than I thought he had, just like watching the game.
So I think 5.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know what's going on, because it usually feels like when I see those, I'm like, okay, yeah, I feel like that's what I saw. But like,
right.
I don't know. The Chiefs have the 3rd highest blitz rate right now. I wonder if they continue that, or if like sit back. Hey, Lamar, try to beat us. We'll contain rush type thing. Mush rush, contain rush, 4-man rush plan type of deal for him with trying to contain him. That could be a good thing.
I'll be curious. I think they will blitz because that's who they are.
Yeah, right.
But I gotta be honest. I think for the Chiefs, I would kind of do it sporadically in the game and say, look, if we're going to blitz, it's going to be run blitzes. Because one thing about Derrick Henry, as great as he is, he's not a burner. He's not going to go around. You know, he's not Jahmyr Gibbs, who like could get outside and he's like done. He can get away from you. I mean, the Bills prove that, and letting him just run forever. Okay. But if you're the Chiefs, I think your entire defensive game plan is force everything back to the middle of the field. Everything. Mm-hmm. Like, they're the most important players in this game are going to be the defensive ends and the outside linebackers. You have got to keep your edges in this game.
Yep.
Like, listen, I know people have issues with Nick Bolton, and I have issues with Nick Bolton sometimes, but this is the kind of game Nick Bolton can thrive in because this is his kind of game. Like, in a phone booth, just mano a mano, unless it's Scattleboo, apparently, then he just gets run over. But, like, this is the kind of game that if you're the Chiefs, you need Karlaftis and Amenahu and Gelati and all, force them back in. Mm-hmm. Force them back to your help. And if you can do that, you can be okay in this game against them. The problem is when Baltimore, a lot of times, if you watch the Ravens, you're familiar with them, they run a lot of RPOs and a lot of options, and it becomes, guy crashes down and all of a sudden Lamar's out the gate for like 25 yards. And that's where, like, if he's running for yardage, but he's doing it on passing plays that aren't working, that's different than if he's, because like last year he ran for 1 million yards. I covered that game, and a lot of it was just he had nowhere to throw the football.
Right. Yeah.
It was like, all right, well, I'm going to scramble. Now, look, you still don't want to go up 100, whatever it was, 16 yards rushing. But the point is, that's at the expense of them for getting any yards in the air.
Mm-hmm.
If they're getting yards with Lamar that way, that's a hell of a lot better than, hey, I'm just going to keep it and Karlaftis crash down, and now it's a free-for-all. Because now Noel Williams is trying to make a tackle in space 30 yards downfield Lamar Jackson. And you don't want that. So I think the whole coaching point for Daly and for Cullen has to be inside. Force him inside. Do not get too far up the field. Like, if you can, do not lose lane integrity in this game. Mm-hmm. And if that means you don't have a great pass rush, that's all right. Secondary can cover these guys.
Yeah.
Don't get out of your rush lanes, and then he's gone, and that's where they can really burn you on the ground.
That was like the first thing George Karlaftis said in his presser. Like, he got to the podium and he's like, "Yeah, we're really focusing on rush lane integrity." So I think that's obviously been a big key for them. It has to be. Did you see earlier today? Coffee Boy tweeted out a PR tweet for Jaylen Watson.
That's a Coffee Boy.
Jordan Schultz, the Chiefs defense has quietly been a very stout unit showing real promise through the first 3 weeks with contributions from all over the field. Opposite All-Pro Trent McDuffie, cornerback Jaylen Watson has stepped up, holding his own against some of the league's best, helping solidify the secondary. Watson's journey, he talks about it a little bit there. Jaylen Watson, if you guys don't know this, he's in a contract year. So that was that was a little bit of a I think if I had to break out my Sherlock Holmes hat in the little magnifying glass, that seems like an agent tweet to get him a little bit more buzz. Truthfully, I don't know if the Chiefs have enough money to keep Jaylen Watson around. So, that's a conversation, obviously, for the offseason, but he's been playing some really good football. Jordan Schultz is riding that tweet. On the opposite side of Trent McDuffie, Jaylen Watson has been playing very well. Christian Fulton has been a full participant in practice. We'll see how much that actually what that even turns into with Christian Fulton, but it's really helping right now that Jaylen Watson is playing as good as he's playing.
He's been great. Mm-hmm. He's been really good, and I think it's funny. Sometimes things work out, and you never want a guy to get hurt or banged up, or of course. But I remember after week one, my big takeaway with this team was defensively. I'm like, God, they're just slow as hell. They have no athleticism. Like they just look like they're in cement. Now, part of that, to be fair, is they had a million coverage busts, and they were like standing still. But they've played Norman Lott, they've played Noel Williams, they've played Gelati, and all of a sudden you're like, all right, well they've got actual athleticism, like they can move, and that's something that they lacked week one. Like Noel Williams might take 8 penalties in a game because he's just willing to get into a street fight on every snap. One of my favorite snaps this year was when he clearly had no idea what to do against Philadelphia and just decked A.J. Brown.
He lost the ball in the air and was like, I don't know where the ball is. I knew it was thrown over here. I know that guy's going to be close to it, so I'm just going to hit him.
Yeah. Hey, man, solid strategy.
Yeah.
But I really like Christian Fulton. I got to be honest. And I don't think Christian Fulton's a bad player. I really don't. I like the signing. But right now, I would play Noel Williams. I really would. And hey, man, let's see what you got. Because that is one way. Like, if they wanted to keep Watson, well, maybe you cut Fulton out this year.
Yeah, he did sign a 2-year deal, 2-year 20, I think is what it was.
Like 8 or something. They caught him, something like that.
Yeah, so that I definitely think that would be an interesting solution. I'm curious to see how much Watson would get on the market, though. Because depending on how well he plays this year, right? When healthy, he was a very good CB2 for the Chiefs. What was that? 2 years ago? 2 years ago.
Well, he played hurt all damn year with torn labrum, and he. So I guess that's hope for Worthy.
Oh yeah, that's true. I forgot about that.
But it's. I will say, I think he's a weird guy on the market in the sense of you look at him and say, well, he's a really good player and he's going to get paid, and maybe that's true. He also feels like the kind of guy who's very under the radar. Like
that's old. He's an older, like he was older when he came into the league. So that could play into it as well.
He's not a Pro Bowler. He's not an all-pro. Right. Like you could say the same thing about Snead, but I would argue that the year Snead had, he was so dominant that year that he was talked about a lot nationally.
Yeah.
Watson's not. Like could they sign him for 3 years and $36 million?
Maybe.
And I got to tell you, if you could, maybe now we'll say the year plays out, but if they could, shit, I'd give him 3 years, $36 million. Yeah. I know a certain right tackle they get cut and save $20 million. Just saying.
Yeah. That took a minute. I was like, what are you? Yeah. I figured it out. I got it.
Yeah. There you go. Good for you.
Yeah, took me a little bit. We got to take one more time out, and I got to talk to Benny too to get his picks for this week. But we'll take a break. On the other side, I'll be joined by Benny, and we got some stuff around the NFL. The Vikings are going to be overseas, I think, for the rest of their life existence. And C.J. Gardner-Johnson got released shockingly, and that's kind of a funny story to talk about. So we'll talk about that and more after this. But I'll be joined by Benny first. Chiefs.
What's up, guys? I'm BJ Kissel, founder and CEO of KC Sports Network, and I'm here to talk to Kansas City businesses. If you rely on technology, you need an IT support team that's not just another vendor, but a true IT partner. That's why I want to introduce you to my friend and neighbor, KJ Miller. He is a VCIO at ThrottleNet, the Midwest's highest rated and most reviewed IT support company. They've been in business for more than 25 years, helping companies stay secure, productive, and ahead of the curve. They aren't just IT support, but they provide data security, IT strategy, and cloud software services. They do it all, and their reviews show they do it better than anyone else. So if you want to hear about how ThrottleNet can help your local business, join the conversation with myself, KJ Miller from ThrottleNet, and our resident genius from KC Sports Network when it comes to IT, at least as he's affectionately known by us, Mr. Craig Stout. Click the link in the description to hear how ThrottleNet can help you.
Vinny, appreciate you joining me here on That Football Show. Again, Matt just dipped out. I don't know what his deal is. He just doesn't want to talk betting, I guess, or maybe the slate's so bad that Matt just didn't want to talk about it. I don't know. But Vinny, how you doing?
I'm good. I can't believe that Matty didn't want to stick around for Saints and Bills with the line of 15.5. I mean, there's nothing that's going to get your juices flowing a little bit more than laying 15.5 with a terrible Saints team going back on the road in Buffalo. But I don't know, like that's going to be on a corner TV over at a sports book somewhere, man. Someone's got to watch it and someone's got to bet it.
Someone does have to bet on it. That's true. They can't build all these big buildings in Vegas if they don't bet on it. That's how it goes. But Benny, obviously the big game that we've talked about a lot on the show already, and the game is getting, I think, most of the nation's attention, maybe outside of that Sunday Night Football game, is the Ravens and the Chiefs, two teams that are in different places, but also the same place at the same time. Interesting enough. What do you like in this game? What are you liking about the matchup where the Chiefs right now, as I'm looking at DraftKings Sportsbook, still a home dog, and you can still get them at plus money right now as the home dog, if what I'm seeing.
We're living in a strange time in a strange world where for the second time this year, the Chiefs are home dogs. It's the second time this year, and up to this point, Tucker, the Chiefs had only been a home dog under Mahomes twice in his entire career going up to this point. So it feels like it's a strange place to be. I think the natural inclination for any Chiefs fan is to look at that and say, well, of course, I have to take Kansas City here. And for as much as, listen, it's both teams, same record, historical. We know about the Ravens' woes. I think 1-4 for Lamar straight up against Mahomes over the course of their head-to-head career. There's plenty of reasons why I think you just want to run and bet Kansas City. And one other note that I think is worthwhile, anytime that the Chiefs under Andy have been playing a team on short rest, 18-3 straight up. Ravens coming off of that bad Monday Night Football loss after the Derrick Henry fumble. I think the way that I'm going to look at this matchup is, the fact that it's 2.5. I don't think you and I would come into this matchup, Tucker, and say that there's no way that the Ravens can't beat the Chiefs based on how this team is currently constructed. There's a hypothetical world where the Chiefs are 2-1. There's a hypothetical world where the Ravens are 3-0, if not for some terrible stretches late in games against Buffalo and then again on Monday night against the Lions. To me, I look at this Chiefs line at plus 2.5 and say, okay, they're at home against a team that they've historically played well. How can I move this? How can I get this at a better number? And so, talked about it on 5 things, but I like moving this line in a teaser this week, moving it to 8.5. I really don't see a scenario where the Ravens blow out Kansas City, especially with the improvements on the defensive side of the ball. Knowing how they know how to play against Lamar historically, getting Chiefs 8.5 as a home dog feels really good to me. And then maybe taking a team like Houston, holding your nose 0-3 there, you can move them from -7 at DraftKings down to basically, -1 at home against Tennessee, also 0-3 on the year. This feels like they could lose the game by 3, but instead of worrying about that, you tease them up at home in a matchup that historically they have done really well in this spot.
I like that thought process for sure. When it comes down to it, then also the part of me, Benny, you always have like the angel and the devil on your shoulder when you look at these lines. At least I do. I don't know. I guess I can only really speak for myself. I'm just like, oh yeah, that's probably the smart thing to do that. But then it's like, Chiefs are plus 124 right now on the money line. You can just go ahead and jump money line, get plus money on the Chiefs to win the game. You like the Chiefs. You like the way this is shaking out. You like that no one's counting them in. You like that, and that's the side of me that usually does win. That side usually does.
It makes total sense too, Tuck, because you think about this matchup. The Ravens lone win in the Reid Mahomes era has come by a single point, right? 36-35 back in 2021. And I think what's going to be so instrumental for Kansas City is like the run game, right? Ravens rank dead last in the NFL in rushing yards allowed, rushing touchdowns allowed.
Yeah.
And I don't know right now at this point how confident Chiefs fans feel in Pacheco, in Hunt, in any sort of consistency right now in the running game. If they can establish the run and do it in the second half, I think about the game between the Bears and the Cowboys in week 3. The Bears had a 19 drive play. They ran the ball down the Cowboys' throat 11 consecutive times. Like, if Kansas City can do that when we know that their defense picks up in the second half, like, they can absolutely win this game outright. But the Ravens do have some firepower. They can still make plays. Sure. And if Kansas City just doesn't get enough going offensively, there's very much a scenario where they kick a field goal, end up winning this game by 1 or 2, or maybe it's 3, and then you lose that cover opportunity.
Yeah, man. Very true. Again, I know I teased that Maddie didn't want to stick around for this slate of games. There is another good game. It is the Sunday night game. That is a good game. Obviously, the storylines are good in that one. Benny, I don't know if you have anything that you like about the Packers traveling down to the Cowboys where Micah Parsons gets his revenge. I'm trying to look right now at DraftKings Sportsbook if I got sack numbers yet. If I can get sack totals on Micah, whatever it is, I don't even care. I don't even care what it's going to be. I'm going to put the over.
Have to, right? Like if you're DraftKings and all of a sudden you get an alert on your phone, it's like Micah Parsons odds to get a sack have been moved up to even money or plus odds. That's going to be that nice little freebie that you have to jump on. And listen, like, Dallas's offensive line has been all right. Like the offense for Dallas isn't the problem. The question is whether or not CeeDee Lamb's going to be healthy, and whether Matt Eberflus's defense is going to be able to make any sort of a stand against the Packers, who got embarrassed and really blew that game on the road in Cleveland last week. We've seen this line stay at 6.5 for a while. It's now up to 7. When was the last time, Tucker? I mean, maybe it's been fairly recent, but I have a hard time seeing the Cowboys, or at least remembering when the Cowboys have been a full touchdown home dog on a Sunday night island game. That feels a bit odd to me, but listen, when you get dog walked by the Bears, this is going to happen to you. But yes, Micah Parsons, if there is a prop that feels good for that sack number, you certainly have to consider it, and I don't blame anybody for doing that.
I'm looking right now. They have a special in that game. DraftKings is always good with their game specials, right? They always seem to have something going up, and they have 2 props that you can place. Micah Parsons to have 2+ sacks. That's at plus 275. So I think if he gets 2, that also is like good. So if he gets 2 plus, and then this one is called No Country for Old Teammates. Micah Parsons to have a sack in each half at plus 550. So you're playing a dangerous game there with that one, but I like to have 2+ sacks though. I do like that one.
See, that to me feels like I love DraftKings. You and I both know that how we feel about DraftKings. To me, I think if I was going to lean in one direction, I feel like in the first half, they're going to try to make sure that they spotlight Parsons, try to double him up. They don't want it to be part of the narrative. If Dallas is down, though, in the second half, they may not have much of a choice. So that one I'd probably stay away from. The 2 sacks, though, feels perfectly reasonable. And frankly, if you want to live bet it a little bit, maybe you pick the over 0.5 sacks for Parson if he hasn't gotten a sack come second half and Green Bay is up in that game, because then you can just really just turn him loose.
You mentioned live betting, Benny. I've never really been a live bettor because I live in Missouri. And well, I'll tell you,
December 1st, my friend, that will change for you.
That will change for sure. But when is the best time to get in on the live betting? When you're watching a game, like sometimes when I would live bet, I'd just be like, I just want to see a touchdown this drive, so I'm just going to put on a touchdown. What's the best way to go about the live betting stuff?
There's a couple different ways that you can do this. I think one thing that I've typically done is I like to see how teams respond to their, their scripted drives early on in the game. A lot of times you'll see, touchdown with, really sort of smart, savvy offensive coaches where, let's say the line for a game is 47.5. And we see both teams drop a touchdown on the opening drive, and it's two offensive-minded head coaches. That's a great time to grab the live under, because now maybe it's, instead of 47.5, it's now up to 54.5, and you're getting a really good number there. That's an opportunity to maybe jump in on a live bet, because you're getting a far better number than what was initially anticipated. But I want to give credit to my guy Evan Abrams over at Action Network who found this out. So there's been a lot of late movements and comebacks so far that have really gone against the original number. He points out the teams who are leading entering the fourth quarter are 31-14 against the spread. Now that sounds like a really good number, 69% over the full game line. However, if you think about it, like teams who enter the fourth quarter winning 60% of the time or covering 60% of the time over the full game line, it is the worst mark both through 3 weeks and over a full season in the wild card era since 1990.
Wow.
So take that in mind. Now look at another stat that he pulled, who says teams who are trailing at the half this year are 28-16, hitting at 64% against the second half spread, which is another indication, Tucker, that to me, there are openings for teams that are down at halftime or teams that are down going into the fourth quarter where they're going to get let back into this game. It's sort of like when the witching hour pops up and Scott Hansen, and I hope he hasn't trademarked this because I don't want the lawyers to come after us, where wins become losses and losses become wins. That's where you might want to get your phone out, take out the DraftKings app and start saying to yourself, okay, there's some teams that might be able to put themselves in a position where they might be down 10. Live line is currently like plus 7.5 or something like that. You get a really good number going in because a lot of these teams right now are getting back into these games. May not necessarily win the original line, but you're getting a better number, and these games are oftentimes coming down to the wire, and a backdoor cover might end up working out in your favor.
That's crazy. Those are some good numbers there. Love to see that. Benny, thank you for hopping on. Anything else in the notebook you want to unload before we talk about our friends at DraftKings?
Yeah, let me give you an actual. I've talked about my play for the Chiefs game.
Yeah.
This is a pick that I really like, but it is also dependent on whether or not the main starter plays. Okay. I think a lot of people are looking at this Jacksonville and San Francisco game. And they're looking at San Francisco 3-0, Jacksonville 2-1, but are they really legitimate? Brian Thomas hasn't done anything this year. He's got like 7 catches in the first 3 games.
Crazy.
Lines at 3.5, could go to 4, maybe even 4.5, depending if Brock Purdy plays. I like Jacksonville as an underdog here. I really do. And a lot of it has to do with the 49ers not having Nick Bosa. Yeah. They are 57-28 straight up with him going all the way back to 2019. In games without Nick Bosa, the 49ers are 6-12.
Huh.
They're also, we talked about some of these second half spreads, Tucker. The 49ers are an NFL worst 3-17 against the spread in the second half. Over their last 20 games. Meanwhile, the Jags have been a very good first half team. They're 3-0 against the spread to start off this year. And this is still with the inconsistencies of getting the ball to their best playmakers on offense.
Yeah.
So no Nick Bosa, that's going to impact the pass rush. You have a Jacksonville team that if they start to figure things out offensively, certainly have much more firepower right now than maybe what San Francisco does. San Francisco's got a good defense, but no Nick Bosa is a massive loss for them. I think you're going to get a really good number with Jacksonville. We'll see how large that number gets if Purdy plays. I'd be a little bit more hesitant, but if it's Mac Jones again, 3.5, 4, I certainly like that line for Jacksonville as a road dog here.
Yeah, everyone that I follow out of San Francisco does not seem too optimistic about Brock Purdy playing. So if McCorkle Jones, the kid from Jacksonville, McCorkle Jones from Jacksonville takes a start. I do like that pick as well. Do you have any sicko plays? Do you ever have one play that you're just like, man, this is so sick? A lot of times what I'll do, Benny, is like a first half under, especially in some of these games, just to feel something a little bit. Do you ever have any of those sicko plays?
Honestly, like there's a handful of games this week where, you know, we talked about some of these, the favorites in the first 2 weeks of the season had just been on a run. If I'm looking at the card of plays that I'm likely going to be on this week, it is a bunch of stinky, gross underdogs. Like I talked about Jacksonville plus 3.5. Atlanta just got the doors blown off of them. I like them as a home dog against Washington. Tennessee plus 7.5 against Houston. I know that I liked Houston to win the game, but 7.5 is a divisional dog on the road. The trends very much back that one up. Carolina plus 5.5 at New England. The Patriots deserve to be 5.5-point favorites against anybody at this point. So a lot of gross dogs in week 4. I pushed with my Denver bet last week at plus 3 against the Chargers. They're 7.5 at home against Cincinnati. Sean Payton historically has been a covering machine in week 4. Weeks 3 and 4, typically he's great compared to weeks 1 and 2, where he's hitting at a 33% clip. Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to take the 7.5 for Denver. They haven't earned it yet, even against a backup in Cincinnati. But something that I'm thinking about, just mostly for the most part this week, just a lot of hold your nose type of underdog plays for week 4 for me.
Yeah, and look, if you're in Missouri right now, obviously you're sitting on the sidelines, you're waiting. You can obviously hop on over to Kansas, but get ready, Missouri. Get ready with me, as the wait is almost over, because DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is coming soon to the Show Me State, and you can sign up today. New Missouri customers can get $300 in bonus bets when we launch on December 1st. Download now and place a $5 bet when we go live. DraftKings Sportsbook brings everything you need to elevate your game day, including live in-game betting like we talked about, lightning-fast payouts, and endless ways to get in on the action, all right from your phone. And when we go live in Missouri, you'll be betting with the Sportsbook app trusted by millions. It's safe, it's secure, and it has fast money withdrawals. Here's what you got to do. Download that DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use the code KCSN to grab $300 in bonus bets with just a $5 bet when we go live December 1st. That's code KCSN in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. Benny, thank you for hanging out with me.
Always a pleasure. We'll get Verderame on in here. We'll find some even grosser lines and just welcome him in with open arms. But always good to see, bud.
We need to give him some slob. I like that idea. The NFL is in Ireland, Matt.
Yes, it is.
Kicking off Ireland. I did not realize it was already Ireland week before we started this podcast. I was like, oh,
you're going to welcome it into your life.
Sunday morning, bright and squirrely. You're going to have it. You're going to have Vikings and Steelers, right? That's what the game it is?
Yes. It's a home game for the Vikings somehow. Yes.
Interesting. That game's not going to be good. But
it's not going to be great. I'm not going to lie to you.
And then the Vikings stay in there, and then they have a London game after.
They're just apparently Europe's team now.
Yeah.
The Jags are furious.
Didn't the Jags do like the 2 weeks in London, right?
Yes. It's the only time fans go to the game for the Jags. Yes.
I was talking about this on the streams the other day. There's 2 teams that I feel like that are always in my blind spot. I don't know if I know you cover the whole league, so you probably don't feel this, but I always feel like there's 2 teams that I like have no clue what's going on with them. And one of them is the Jags. The Jags, I'm just like, I never just seemingly like randomly catch a Jags game, right?
Nobody does.
Yeah, I don't go out of my way also to find it. And the Cardinals are the other team. The Cardinals are the other team. I'm just like, oh, they just kind of just are outside of my peripherals. I don't think about them. They're just kind of mid teams. Both of those teams are just mid, and I just don't even think about them. And like those are the 2 blind spots I have, are the Jags and the Cardinals.
I have a buddy who's down does a radio on the Jags flagship network down at 1010XL. Ryan Green, he does a great job on radio, and He tweeted out something today that I was absolutely floored by. Jacksonville, in the entire history of the franchise, which is now 31 years.
Wow.
It's 31st year of the team. They've won 4 games in the Pacific time zone. It's like, what?
That's insane.
Yeah, just can't win a game. Just can't. Like, there's like they hit Denver and they're like, turn it around, boys, we're losing. It's like, Jesus.
That is
like,
crazy.
Yeah,
I mean,
next time the Chiefs play Jacksonville and it's a Chiefs game, like a home game, should be like, we're putting in LA. Now we're heading out. SoFi is our second home anyway. Go out there.
Vegas, I could do it in Vegas too if they wanted to.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I really do own that.
We're headed out. Oh, hell, the Chiefs have never lost in either of those stadiums, ever.
They have more playoff wins in that stadium than the Raiders do.
So humiliating.
That has to be so bad, right?
What's crazy is that the Chiefs not blown that lead against the Bengals in the AFC title game. That Super Bowl's at SoFi. The Chiefs could have had 2 Super Bowl wins in buildings that their division rivals own and have never played a playoff game in, either one of them.
And they would have beat that Rams team.
Oh, yeah, God, yeah.
Both of the years that they lost the AFC title games, they lost it to the Patriots, obviously in 2018. They would have played the Rams. They would have beat the Rams both of those years.
I remain physically ill that they lost those guys. I covered both the Super Bowls. I remember just being so annoyed being there and being like, I can't believe they're not in this game right now.
Right.
You know? Yeah. But it is a hilarious stat that they actually do have more playoff wins than the Raiders in their own building.
So good. It's one of my favorite ones.
The Raiders. I love the Raiders giving up 41 points to Marcus Mariota. Like, just can't do anything. Like, we're done. It's like, okay. Well, I'm glad we spent 3 months talking about how good the Raiders are going to be this year.
It just happened a lot quicker than I think we all. Well,
just suck. Like, okay.
Yeah, like they're just gonna suck now, and I guess that's okay. Matt, I sent you a quote earlier today from a quote that was from Wednesday that legitimately floored me. A quote that legit floored me, and I had to double check that it was real. At Underdog NFL tweets this out. Head coach Morris on Michael Penix remaining the starting QB. Quote, Kirk lost his job last year. We're not even close to that with Mike. He had a bad game. And I saw that and I was like, holy hell, what did Kirk Cousins do to Mr. Morris?
Just buried.
Oh,
just absolutely just a little woodshed. And was like, you know what I think of this son of yeah. I mean, yeah, I know. Also, like, where do the Falcons get off? You know? Like, it's like it's Belichick with that comment. You know? Like, nothing. Are you serious? Like,
it's a great point.
Like, okay, like, calm down over there. Like, my God. We're not going to be taking this anymore. Okay? Well, you guys have been mediocre and worse for your entire franchise history. But sure, go nuts. I saw that quote. I also wanted to bring this quote into the fold. Also, I saw from Underdog. Did you see Tua talking about Cam Newton?
No. So
I guess Cam was critical of him while looking like a cross between the Monopoly Man and Mr. Peanut with the outfits.
Sure.
And he said, quote, yeah, I got to say, I actually give Cam credit in this regard. Like, listen, obviously it's not like my style. I mean, hell, I'm sure he'd look at me and go, yeah, that's a good thing for me. But rolling out my T-shirt. But Cam just goes for it, man.
Yes, 100%. I respect that.
Like, all kidding aside, I respect the game. But in any event, so Cam's critical to it.
Right.
Tua's asked about this at the podium and just goes, I want to see somebody on the streets come play quarterback. Cam is doing his thing, but I think it's easier to hold a clicker and talk about what someone else is doing, doing wrong when you're not out there having to do the same. Bro, he won the MVP and went to the Super Bowl. Like, he's not me criticizing you. Like, what? Just, all right. Like, I checked to make sure, like that was a real quote.
Yeah.
Real quote. Saw the video of it.
I'm
not AI. I was like, what?
Not
Are you insane? Are you serious with this? Like, yeah. Apparently just doesn't understand that Cam Newton also played football not all that long ago and was fairly good at it. Yeah, that's where we're at right now with Tua.
not only did he play football and win the MVP, but he won the MVP with his leading receiver being Greg Olsen. And Greg Olsen, you're like, okay, yeah, that's a pretty good guy. His second leading receiver, Ted Ginn Jr. with 739 yards. His third leading wide receiver,
Ginn defended. It was a Jericho Cotchery.
485 yards was his third leading receiver.
Yeah, it was.
Number 4. Do you want to guess number 4?
God, on that team.
Yeah. It's a good pull. This is a good pull if you can get this.
The only guy I can even think of that played for the Panthers, Brandon LaFell.
No, that's a good pull, but it's not him.
Who is it?
Devin Funchess.
Oh my God.
He won the MVP with that team. He had no help. And
He had 45 touchdowns that year.
Yeah, sorry. That defense was absolutely insane. Let's talk about that. But yes, on the offense, he had no help. He, as you said, he had 45 touchdowns that year.
Oh my!
And that's like not including his rushing stats.
That's brutal. And you got 2 over here. Like, he doesn't know what it is to play football.
Right.
Thanks to it. Thanks for chiming in.
And Jonathan Stewart is who his leading rusher was. They had Jonathan Stewart and Mike Tolbert running backs.
Mike Tolbert. Charger is great.
Yeah. Fozzie Whitaker.
Wow. You forgot about Fozzie Whitaker. Yes.
Cameron Artis-Payne. There's some names on that team. But like that defense was like actually insane.
Defense was good. Defense was really good.
Roman Harper. I mean, they had Thomas Davis, Luke Kuechly, obviously. Oh, Jared Allen was on that team. I knew that he ended with the Panthers, but I didn't realize it was there. That time. That's crazy.
Okay. I talked to him not that long ago about something I was writing about, and I don't even think I asked him about that because I didn't realize he was even on that team. Or if I did, I completely forgot about it already.
There's no way that he was like, let me see here. Jared Allen, he only had 12 tackles that year.
Okay, so he was
27 total. Yeah.
He was basically hanging out. He was just a glue guy.
Five guy. Oh, he was traded there mid-year from Chicago.
That makes sense. Figured the Bears would be out of it. Gave up.
He has the all-time record for safeties in a career.
No idea.
Yeah.
We're learning a lot about Jared Allen's career.
This is now a Jared Allen podcast. Looking at the slate of games this week, Matt, which one's eye popping to you? I know the Sunday Night Football game, obviously, with the Packers and the Cowboys is a big one. But which one do you got your eyes on?
Trying to think. I mean, Bucks Eagles is really interesting.
Yeah, both 3-0 teams.
Yep.
Noon kickoff.
Rams Colts.
Yeah. Bears Raiders is gross, by the way.
Chip Kelly and Ben Johnson's matching weights.
It's so gross.
Was Ashton Gent to get like 8 carries.
Dude, there's another Monday night doubleheader.
Oh, yeah. How do you feel about Jets Dolphins? Just down the windpipe. Here it comes. Oh, my
15.
God. That's right. Yeah, in Miami, where no one's going to the game.
Yo, no. Nobody, yeah.
Nobody gives a shit. It's like, yeah, never mind. We're good guys. Thanks.
And Justin Fields should be good for that game, is what they're saying.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Because that'll save the viewership. I mean, glad he's healthy, but like.
Yeah, it's not like a stellar slate this week. I'll say it. It's not like a great slate.
There's a sick, twisted part of me that's kind of into Titans-Texans because, like, if the Texans lose that game,
oof,
like, that's like a coordinators are getting fired type of game. Like, that's like a, hey, someone needs to lose a job over this kind of a game.
Yeah.
You know, just, yeah, I'll toss that out there.
Brian Callahan basically has already fired himself as play caller.
Brian Callahan is just laughing hysterically on his way home like a serial killer. Just I can't believe they haven't fired me yet.
Right.
Yeah, like this is unbelievable. Like, what else could I possibly do?
Yeah.
Yeah. That team's horrendous.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, Sunday night, Chiefs, Ravens, Bucks, Eagles. Yeah, I mean, those are the games. Those are the games that I would say, the best ones.
Yeah, I mean, you got Chargers, Giants. It's out there. That's not. I mean, Browns, Lions. Can the Browns do it again? Can the Browns do it?
No. No.
They had, the Browns had one game in them. The Browns had one game and they spent it early. They said, you know what? They went all in early.
The Browns are like the kid that goes to the mall with like $20, and you tell them, like, listen, this is all you're getting. So spend wisely, and they just blow it all at the candy store the second they walk in.
Yep.
That's the Browns. The Browns like, yeah, you know what? We like what we got. We're good.
That's a great comp. Yeah, but not a strong slate, but a slate nonetheless, and that's better than no slate. So we'll take it.
That's true.
Slate's better than no slate.
You're getting football games.
That's true.
Okay, and you're gonna like it, and that's the end of it.
And you are gonna like it, but then you're gonna like it when we throw these international games on you in the mornings. So you have morning football, you got noon football, you got afternoon football, you got.
That's right.
All kinds of football.
You got so much football, you don't even know what to do with yourself.
It's true. Might not be good football, but any football is good football.
You know, it's better than doing anything else, right? Like,
yeah.
You know, like, I always love when people, this game sucks. Like, bro, shut up. You're going to watch them anyway.
Yeah.
You know? Like, realistically, what are you doing? You're going to go to the pumpkin patch? Like, what else are you doing?
Clean your house.
Makes me sick.
Yeah. Do the dishes? No.
Right. No one's doing that. Come on. Be a self-respecting human being.
Right. Watch Dolphins Jets. Come on.
That's right. That's right. You're going to watch Dolphins Jets, and you're going to watch Bengals Broncos, and you're going to throw up all over yourself, but you're going to watch it. That's what's going to happen.
Bengals Broncos is so gross, too. Like, that one went under the radar because we were bashing on Jets Dolphins, but Bengals Broncos is also equally disgusting.
Yeah, Jake Browning going against that defense.
Yeah. And then you got Bo Nix going against a couple of traffic cones. Tackle dummies.
That's the thing that's going to be great about that game is when Bo Nix goes like 14-31 for $120, but they win because the Bengals have stopped trying to play football.
Oh, yeah. Isn't there a stat like Bo Nix hasn't beat a playoff quarterback or something like that?
Is that?
He doesn't have very many games. So
well, he beat Baker. I think that's the only one.
Yeah. Lost to Seattle, lost to Pittsburgh. Yeah, he did beat Baker. But like his record in playoff teams are not very good. But
no, God, they think they beat one playoff team last year, and it was Tampa.
Yeah. Tampa looks good this year too. Even though they just keep losing offensive linemen, but they just keep winning games.
Linemen, receivers, Clyde, Kelce. It's like, that's fine.
It's like, we're still going to win.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. No, it's unbelievable. They just keep winning games. But yeah, they've kind of owned Philly. So this will be an interesting game. You just beat them every time I play them.
Last thing, I brought this up on the stream yesterday. Have you seen that stat that the Bills, since the start of 2023, have only played like 31% of their schedule has been against 500 teams that finish above 500?
Yeah, that's the Bills are also petitioning the league to see if that can continue into January, because it might be the only time they ever get to a Super Bowl. You know, they're like, why do we have to play the good teams now? You know,
right?
You know, let's not have Sean McDermott make that speech. Maybe Pagula or one of the players. You know. Just let's let them handle that.
Yeah, let's not have Sean McDermott make any more speeches, guys.
Yeah, the last thing we need is Sean McDermott making that argument at Park Avenue in New York. You know, I was just just saying. Maybe I send like Josh Allen.
Yeah, I think Josh could do it.
Yeah, true reasonable request.
Thank you. All right, that's going to do it for that football show. Appreciate you guys hanging out all the way to the end. Let's get the weekend started off right. Enjoy some football. Any football is better than no football. We've established here on that show. We will be back, or I will be back with you on the KCSN postgame show, and then Matt and I will be back with you on Monday morning, getting you set for that football show, recapping all of week 4 already. That's kind of crazy.
I know.
Rocking and rolling already into week 4.
Pretty much.
Whew, that's wild. But we will have you set, ready to go on Monday after the game. We'll record after the game, and we'll get it rocking and rolling. So until then, make sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a video here. As I mentioned, we'll be live after the game as well. So if you want to air your frustrations or come celebrate with us, thank you to our friends Ben Holiday Bottled and Bond Bourbon, and celebrate with a little bit of bourbon, you can do that as well. So make sure to go like and subscribe. And we will be back on Monday. So until then, we'll see you.